morning. This morning we'll be looking at SBA. I will start by looking at the SBA template. And looking at the SBA template, as you can see on your screen, you see table of contents, school-based assessment. Now, the first page in your SBA should be what you call table of contents. Now, the table of contents should be detailed in a sequential order, right? With all the pages what exists within the SBA, it should be in line with what is in the table of contents. So you cannot have, for example, presentation of data on page 10, and in the table of contents, you see it's on page 9, right? The numbers should actually, relate. Okay, then you have what you call, we're going to go through them individually, but we're just going through how the points are allocated. Now, if the numbers are not properly sequenced on the table of contents, you won't get the mark. By the way, CXC marks the SBA in sections. So it is about practical skills, knowledge, and use of knowledge. Okay, this is referred on the SBA marking sheet as P1, P2, and P3. Okay, now the SBA have what you call, this is the second section now, what you call aim of study. Now the aim of study, it should be clear, and it should it can be an implicit question, and it should be geographical based. Now we all know that social studies and geography kind of have some topics that are similar. You are being advised not to use social studies type questions or aims or topics, right? You're being advised to use topic that is geographical, solid geographical type of topics, right? So you want to look at topics such as transportation. You want to look at topics such as pollution, size, these topics that actually points to the whole subject of geography. Now, the aims should, you should have some things within the aim that gives you mark. Now, if the aim is clearly stated, right, you get a 2 marks, right? If it is geographical based, you get a 2 marks. Now, if you have at least one aim that at least it is kind of have some relations to the geography syllabus, you'll get a 1 mark for that. As I said before, it should be related to geography, not social studies, sociology. All right, location of studies. Now, this is where a lot of students actually fall short. Now, location of studies is practically where you're gonna conduct the research. The location of studies, proof of that is when you do your sketch map. Now, your geography teacher would more than likely give you practical exercise, carry you on a field trip, take you on a field trip where they ask you to do a sketch map from the point of disembarkment to the point of origin, right? The point of where you start, which is a school, the location in which the bus actually leave, to the actual destination where you're at. And then now you're gonna do a general sketch map of the exact area. For my students, I normally use at least 3 maps. My 3 maps include 1 map of the parish, 2 map of Jamaica, and 3 sketch map of the exact area. Now, with map of Jamaica, I want to find out where in Jamaica, in relation to the entire island, this location is at. In map of the parish, I want to find out where in the parish exactly this particular point is at. In the exact area now, you're going to sketch the road, the lane, the pathway, the strip where this particular study will be conducted. So normally it is 3 maps for me. Okay, And you all know that a map should have at least 5 key elements, right? 1, a map should have a border. 2, a map should have a scale. 3, a map should have a title. And 4, a map should have a north symbol. And you know, also a map should have what you call you have key, scale, title, north symbol, and the border. Right? Those are the 5 key sections in which a map should have. Now, if you have all of those solid and your map is well sketched, and after you sketch a map with a pencil, you're supposed to chase a map with a blacking pen. Now, when the map is chased with a blacking pen, you're gonna actually put it aside, and that would be your location area. Now, do not use pencil. Why you don't use pencil? Because pencil, after a while, it will fade and it will not look like that bright. You use a blacking pen, which indicates artistry, work. All right. Now, as it says on the screen, now, between 2 maps, you get 4 marks, right? So you can get 2 maps, but I normally request that you get 3 maps, so that I don't have any hesitation in giving you your 4 marks. Now, if there's no, let's say there's a component that is missing, like a scale, a title, the north symbol, the borders, you will lose a mark. If only 1 map, the only thing you can get is a 2 marks, right? If the study area is not shown, for example, you just draw a map of Jamaica and hand it in as a sketch map, as a location map, you will not get a mark. Okay? All right, let's go on to the next step, methodology. Now, methodology is that aspect of geography that you have to think very carefully what you're going to be doing. You see, geography is a thing that is a field work, and you have practically two different types of research methodology. You have qualitative and you have quantitative. Now, I am not going to hide it. I am a qualitative individual, right? Qualitative, it allows you to be personal with the environment. You do observation, you do interview, you do one-to-one interaction with the exact area in which you are looking at. So you take pictures, you record and you transcribe, and you put all those information together to make one document. On the other hand, you have what you call quantitative research. Now, quantitative research, I guess a lot of you familiar with this. Quantitative research is that research where in which you actually do your survey questions. You do your questionnaire questions. You go out and you distribute what you call questionnaires. You collect it, and then on the return of these questionnaires, what you would have done, you would have to actually tabulate all the responses, and you would have to construct different charts and graphs for your individual questions. Now, I know CXC requires you to have a word limit of, I think it's what, 1200, between 1,000 and 1,200, right? Now, you cannot analyze all the charts and the graph within, let's say that you do 12 charts. It's really difficult for you to analyze all 12 properly and maintain at 1,200. So what I always instruct my students to do is to try to, you actually present all 12 charts. So if you have 12 questions on the questionnaire, you present all 12 charts. When you present all 12 charts, you look for the ones that are significant to your research. Then you look at the data, you look at the high responses, the low responses, and you make comment on those. Then you make reference to the chart, so therefore the reader of the research or the paper will actually see the chart, whether it is in the presentation of data or is in the appendix, whichever way your instructor, your teacher actually informs that you should use. Okay. Now the methodology, it should be clear. It should be precise as to, for example, when the research is going to take place, where the research is going to take place, and how the research is going to take place. So here you have three. You have the when, the how, and the where. These three must be clearly stated, right? Also, you should, whichever method you use, whether it be qualitative or quantitative method, right? Whichever method that you use, you should give at least or state at least two different reasons why you think this method is appropriate for the research that you are doing. Okay, now let's continue. Now, if you don't do all of this, you'll get a 0. Then you have what you call presentation of data. Presentation of data is valid 4 marks. Presentation of data is valid 4 marks, but the 4 marks it can turn into, I think it's 8, no, to 9 marks, because presentation of data is 4 marks, right? You should be able to highlight the charts and the table that represents what you're actually researching. And remember, whatever you highlight, whatever your charts actually points to, that should be your topic. So you can't be looking at rocks and you have pictures with sand, right? You can't be looking at pollution and you're asking the individuals about transportation, right? So you have to be connected, right? And when you're using qualitative methodology, that means you're going to be doing interviews and observation. For as proof as observation, what you're going to do, you're going to actually take pictures of whatever you actually observe. And underneath the picture, you're going to label each picture as plate. So you're going to have, like, for example, you have photograph 1, you're not going to call it photograph 1. You're going to call it plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, right? Then you're going to make a simple sentence on each photograph. You're going to call it plate 1, river overflowing its bank. Simple, right? And you move on, and then you talk about the photograph where you observe when you were on spot. Then if you have another photograph to insert the photograph, plate 2, river receding, right? And then you talk about that. Points to note that throughout the entire writing within a qualitative piece, you should make reference to the plate in which you're actually talking about. You also could make reference to literature that you have read with regard to this particular issue. So, in a sense, you're gonna be equipped with information from textbooks. Now we're gonna get to that in a short bit, but for now, let's continue down the line way as to how you actually present your information. As far as questionnaires are concerned, questionnaires are good, but for geography purposes, myself, I believe that questionnaires does not really connect with the geographical theme section of it. I prefer when you use photographs and when you actually go out in the field and you become a part of the environment investigating a particular issue. However, if you choose to do questionnaires, qualitative research, right, you could, well, you have to present at least 10 questions, 10 to 12 questions. Why I say 10 to 12 questions? The first 2 questions is not really considered a question. They are called demographical data. These are where you actually ask the respondents, that's those persons in whom you are actually communicating with, you actually ask the respondents to share with you their gender and also their age range. Following that, then now you continue linking the questions to what you call the research questions or the research aim or the research itself. So therefore, there should be some connection. There should not be no void between the questionnaire question and the topic that you are doing. Everything should be related. You should be able to see the flow of everything coming forward. All right, let's continue. Now, the quality of the data is always checked. Now, the quality of the data refers to the accuracy of the data or whether or not the data is comprehensively displaying what it's supposed to be displayed. For example, if you say that 12 persons participated in the questionnaire, if I should take up a response and I check all the pie chart percentage or the numbers, and I realize that it's only 9 persons alone was accounted for in this chart, that means you were not accurate and you were not comprehensive in actually tabulating and presenting the data. As a result, all marks cannot be allocated for this section. Also, it should be well labeled. Every table, every chart, every graph should be labeled according to the question in which you are actually looking at. So therefore, if you're looking at, for example, transportation, right, and you just put a table, I just put taxi, bus, train, airplane, and you don't give me any label, you're actually going to lose marks because there's no label on that table that actually shares with the reader or the person looking at it to say this is what you're looking at, right? So the information being displayed should be well put together. Okay. Analysis of data. Now the analysis of data, this is where a lot of students really get the analysis of data and discussion. Analysis of data and discussion is that section of the SBA wherein you are expected to expound on whatever was presented. For example, if you, let's say that you gave out some questionnaires, it speaks about the impact of the flooding of the river on the community, right? You should be able to discuss concisely, explicitly, properly, all of the impact of the river on the community. And this should be joined on the data that you collected during the survey or during the questionnaire. Now, should you, let's say that you do an interview or you do some observation, then now you're going to be taking pictures of the river. And if the persons living near the river don't mind, should I say, you take picture of their establishment where they live, you take picture of the community, and then you ask them questions. You know, you have your structured interview questions. You ask them questions, and you make a record on it. This is what you call transcribing. Then now, you're going to actually sit down around the desk, whether be at school, at home, at play, and you're going to transcribe all the information that you got from the field. And you're going to look at the picture, and you're going to describe, and you're going to talk probably a little bit about what you see. Now, normally, in qualitative research for geography, because it's such a small piece of document, you're expected to have about a minimum of between 5 and 6 photographs, well labeled, and you're supposed to have at least 2 different methodology being explained, should I say, delving into the topic in which you are looking at. So therefore, for example, persons looking at so for persons, let's say they're doing quantitative study. Quantitative study, what will happen is that you will actually have to draw or construct all the charts and graphs, and because of the word limit, what I advise is for you to focus on the high responses and the low responses, and then refer the reader to look at the chart. Like, for example, the high responses for such and such is that, the low responses for that and that was that, but you know, you're going to put it in linguistical, chronological order, right? Then you're going to say, see bar chart number 5 for further information, right? No, for the rest of it, no, you're going to only choose probably about 3 or 4 of those questions that is intricately linked to the topic. For example, let's say that you're looking at pollution and you look at a question which, what are some of the ways in which the community contributes to pollution within space, right? Then now you're going to look at that question, you're going to talk about the highs and the lows of that, you're going to make a paragraph or 2 about that, and that will be it. But let's say the question is like, how long have you lived in this community? Probably you can write a 1 sentence pie chart indicating the length of time persons have actually resided in the community. But that is it for that chart, okay? Because that doesn't really link intricately with the topic. You just do that and move on. But all 10 or 12 charts should be there in it, right? Remember, the word limit is 1,000. That doesn't mean that you can't put in pictures and graphs and charts, right? The pictures and graphs and charts prove that you have actually done the research and that you are actually presenting. But because of the restriction of word limit, you are actually presenting in such a way that you can actually prove that this work was actually done. All right, and there's marks that are allocated. Marks that are allocated for the different sections in marks that are allocated for the different section within your within your analysis and the discussion. And in the discussion, guys, you're gonna have to make it be a discussion where like you're talking to somebody, you're explaining something. So it's not nothing where you just rigidly look at the chart and talk about the chart and leave it. Within the discussion, you're actually saying you're talking about the impact, right? Probably you can draw on some literature that you have read on the topic. You quote a person, say, listen, John Brown says that solid pollution affects the environment by such and such and such. This can be proven to be fact, as I probably put in a picture there and I talk about it. So you make it look so as it is a story. And that's something that you just put in piecemeal just to make up numbers, to make up pages, right? And you have a maximum of 8 marks to get within that section. All right. As I said before, all of this can be done in one. For, let's say, you're looking at a qualitative research. The integration, discussion, analysis, and presentation of data, all that is done in one. Because as you discuss, you actually integrate your literature with what you see in the field, with what you actually know. You put everything together like a story and you present it. So that gives you 2 marks. All right. Now the conclusion. Now, at the start of your research, you have what you call research aims or research questions. These research aims or research questions must be answered. Now, it should be related to the purpose. That's the conclusion. Should be related to the purpose and provides an appropriate summary. Right? Now, what happened is that in this section, you're actually going to be responding to the aims and the objectives or whatever you call it, research questions that is reflected throughout the entire research, right? Maximum mark, 6 marks, right? If you have nothing that is related to the aims, objective, research questions, it just talk about being published, nothing, foolishness, you're going to get a 0 mark, right? It should relate to the purpose of the study. Remember, you know, a topic is different from a title. A topic is a broad thing. A title narrows it down to a particular area, right? So when you narrow it down, you're going to have a focus point. Now, the focus point was delved into the entire research. Now, when you finish with this research, what you're going to be doing now, you're going to be talking about the findings, the summary, whatever you discuss, whatever you discovered, and you know that should be good enough for you to carry through so as to to achieve the maximum of 6 marks. Now, communications in SBA is important. Communication is practically your linguistical skills, how you put together whatever you're actually documenting. So therefore, your English language skill is of importance. Subject-verb agreement, punctuation, grammar, referencing, all that is important, right? You have to look at that, and if that is not coming through properly, you will end up losing marks, right? For those persons looking at keep, communication is at every different section, but that's a different story. All right, and the last section, bibliography. Now, bibliography, CXC just wants to see whether or not you have an idea as to how to arrange the bibliography, what we call reference, in chronological order. You should have at least 3 references, and the 3 references should be listed in alphabetical order. That means that if the first person that you have in the bibliography, last name begins with A, Abraham's, that should be at the top. If it's Brown, that should be in the middle. If it's Coswell, that should be at the end. So it should not be mixed up, regardless of how you might favor the books. I just throw them in. If it's not in chronological order, you will not get a mark. And that's it. All right. Now, if you exceed the amount of words that is suggested by CXC, you will lose up to 4 marks, right? 1 mark in P1, 1 mark in P2, and 2 marks in P3. Now, this is practically the outline, the outlay of the SBA. It is hope that going through this, you will now look at all the different sections within your geography syllabus and think of a topic. The next time we meet, we'll look at getting that topic, making that title, designing your SBA. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.